What's up, guys? So, I saw, this title, this video with Tommy Sotomayor. He's pretty big in the manosphere talking arena, right? Area. So, I mean, title seems interesting. I figured why not check it out. But so let's check it out.
um, Chief Keef had to pay child support to a 33-year-old woman. His baby's mama was 33 years old when she got pregnant by him at 16. She didn't do a day in jail.
So you probably did. She's 25, a Houston teacher at Holland Middle School. She was arrested and charged for grooming, texting, and kissing middle school girls.
Hmm.
So this is one of girls. Then I seen this lady. These is all last week.
He'll go to jail.
31-year-old Connecticut married lunch lady arrested for having sex with a 14-year-old boy and sending him nude pictures, as well as 34-year-old teacher Jacqueline Ma arrested for sexual abuse because she was 45 and said she's a cheer coach, but she was charged with R word after allegedly having sex with her daughter's 16-year-old boyfriend over 300 times.
Right? So stop.
That's the thing, right? How society, right, has stigmatized, has uh, pretty much made men synonymous with grooming young girls or young boys or whatever, right? How men are the ones who date younger, or they are men are creepy, all this stuff. Every man knows it. Every man hears it, right? And yet we don't. I mean, it's not really publicized like that. It's not really talked about like that, right? When women do it, and this is the thing where I'm not saying man or woman thing. I'm saying it's people, right? It don't matter because you're a man or because you're a woman. There are just terrible, creepy, unbelievable people out there, right? That will abuse children, right? That will be harmful to children, and then we don't recognize it enough, right? We don't talk about it enough. It's not about the gender. It's not about because you're a man, because you're a woman. It's about you're a terrible person. That's it. This is sometimes it's like that's the thing where that's the part I want to fight against, right? How because you're a certain gender, that's how you are, right? You're a man, so you're creepy. You always want younger women. You're creepy because you're only attracted to younger women, and we don't talk about. Or you're creepy. You shouldn't be around children. I mean, this is the thing we don't talk about, right? I think I don't know. I don't have the stat on me, but it's like, uh, you know, abuse towards children is synonymously more. I mean, statistically done more by women. Okay, because I mean, most cases, single mothers and stuff like that, right? So, but we don't talk about that. We just talk about, oh, it's the men that are terrible. It's the men that are abusive. It's the men that are attracted to younger, right?
Out listening to these people talking about, oh, bodies don't count. They count, goddammit. That you keep going through a bunch of bad events and unhealthy circumstances don't count. They don't build y'all the way they build men. They just don't.
I think we don't factor in the fact that, truthfully, the more times a woman has a man ejaculate inside of her, that is literally another person's DNA being absorbed into her body. And if you notice, most women who fucked a lot of people crazy as shit because they've literally had a lot of different souls in them. That's why they have the thing called soul ties. As a matter of fact, they even have this thing psychologically that if a man gives a woman an orgasm for that 30 days until she has her period again, she belongs to that man. He has imprinted
Mhm.
on that woman. So these things, when you have these women sleeping with multiple men at the same time, they're nuts. That's why if you listen to them, most of them have drug problems, alcohol problems, and I'm not even playing with you. When you sit up there taking that many damn dicks, there's a problem with you because you're literally bringing in the DNA of another individual and holding it because I'm spitting it out of me. It's going in you and it's just sitting in there, just marinating.
And
Y'all-
we can smell the presence of another man on you.
Getting them nuts.
Say it again.
Hey,
We can smell the presence of another man on you, if you really be honest.
You know, like dogs.
Yes.
getting them nuts make y'all nuts, ladies. Y'all better chill out.
Abusers are like vampires.
I've said this many times in my other videos, right? It's not about when people talk about the body count, they just think about, oh, you're just having sex with a lot of men. It's more about, in my opinion, right? It is the psychological effect of it, right? He talks about, like, I guess it's the biology of it, kind of, I guess. But I talk a lot about, like, when women deal with and people, right? If you're dealing with so many people, it gets hard. It gets shitty because it affects you. So women dealing with, like, let's say if a woman had sex with many men, right? Let's say 20, 30, whatever men, right? A lot of those men are just not like one-time flings or, oh, you don't know what happened. You know, you never seen the person again. A lot of them are, you know what? Terrible men, right? Men that has abused you, cheated on you, neglect you, treated you terribly, whatever, right? A lot of those times will be trauma. Okay? It is trauma onto you. It added trauma onto you. So it can make that woman jaded, more aggressive, more disagreeable, more harder to deal with. Right? Because the more experiences you have, it will shape you. Okay? A lot of times it might shape you into a worse person. Right? Because let's say if you dealt with so many terrible, let's say for a woman, she deals with so many terrible men. Well, it's not going to make her into a better woman. Right? It's going to make her into someone that's even harder and worse to deal with.
Vampires cannot come into your house unless you invite them in. All these abusers don't have kids of their own. They typically have kids of yours, and you have to bring them around because a father, let me tell you what happens. Even if we know we didn't do it, that's why fathers are important. And you men on the panel and you men in the comment section, tell me if I'm wrong. If it happened under your watch, you take it as your fault. You don't wait for somebody else to say it's your fault. That's what a fucking man does. We wouldn't sit up here and say, it's not my fault. I didn't know that the child didn't. No. It happened under my watch. And there's been several men whose daughters have gotten murdered by somebody, had nothing to do with them. Their daughter got murdered by the boyfriend at 16. You know what happened within 6 months? The father killed himself. Do you know why? Because he felt it was his fault.
Even though it wasn't.
I said because.
Exactly. Even though it wasn't.
I said because he felt it was because of his. Okay, you said it exactly 3 times. Now let me finish the sentence. Not at fault for his losses, but if he lose too much, who do they fire?
Coach.
Men understand that. Stop being in leader positions if you don't want to take the blame.
I'm of the belief, I think I agree with them in a sense, because regardless whether we like it or not, if I send my child to that school, that kid is going to still look at you. Why didn't you protect me? They're looking for you to vet these people that you're bringing around them. They're looking for you to do your
I put the responsibility where it belonged, on the predator from the beginning. So we can't pretend that's a lie. However, when we're talking about which parent is pushing sex towards the child, it is majority the father pushing sex towards his son. Period.
There aren't very many fathers in black homes.
Period. It doesn't matter. Even when they're not at the home, they're still pushing their sons.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I'm asking you a serious question. How can it be a large number of boys who are wanting to do this if it ain't a large number of men who are raising them?
Because even if they're not raising them, it's not like they don't know them. It's not like they don't see them.
Jesus.
Most children don't have parents that they just don't know who they are. They know who their father is. And when he sees them, when he finally gets to see them as a teenager, he's like, hey, man, did you get the little dick wet yet? That's his question to his son. These men should stop encouraging their sons to have sex no matter what. It is a problem because they're not saying, hey, this teacher is raping me like these little girls are. They're saying, oh, man, I got caught. Oh, man.
How's she saying things like she thinks that's what men say? I mean, it's like literally ridiculous, unbelievable.
I I had a baby, but they're not saying this woman is raping me. Even when they're having sex with older women and they come back later and talk about it, they don't talk about it as it's a trauma. They talk about it as, I started out early. I started out doing exactly what I knew what I needed to do from a young age. That type of energy is what they're bringing, not, oh, this was trauma. Oh, she hurt me. That's rare. Most of the cases, it's, I don't care. It isn't rape. I wanted it, no matter how young these little boys are.
The same reason these women tell their sons he gonna be a lady killer. Why would you tell that boy he gonna be running through a bunch of women? You don't need to settle down. You better shop around. Don't settle down with the first chick you lay down with. These are females saying this, but you just literally put it on men. As a matter of fact, who's the one who makes fun of a man for not having sex? Is it another man? It's typically a woman who says you don't get no yes, it is, because I've literally saw YouTubers. He just saying that because he can't get no woman. He can't get no sex. Every time a man stands up for men, the first person to come up in that man's comment section and tell him why he's standing up for men, and they say he's not getting pussy. Those are the words they say. They don't say anything else. Matter of fact, they'll check his sexuality and say you must be gay.
Hey, Tommy, hold on. And plus, think about
you smile all you want, but I'm telling the truth.
And here's the thing, though, Tommy.
Why is it that black women go around bragging about being the most educated group in the United States?
This is that was amazing. That's 100% true, right? And this is the thing where it is like, let's go back to what she's talking about. How supposedly, you know, even though fathers are not in their home, but when they have their children, they're talking about sex with their child. That's ridiculous, right? That's absolutely utterly ridiculous. Men are not in that. Men really do not. I mean, even for the sons, right? I mean, men will be cool with it that his son's a player. It's great, but like, they're not clamoring to hear their son's exploits. Not really. They're not, oh God, did you have sex with her? Did you have sex with her? It's like, no, it's like, I don't think, especially not good fathers. And this is the thing, all right? End of the day, the small, right? The limited interaction that these childs have with their fathers is not to a degree that will sway their mind like that. I honestly believe it is the mothers, because you gotta think, you're with her almost 24/7. You see her bringing in men. You see her. You see her life, and I think that's what affects the child's mentality more, in my opinion. Right? I have videos saying, you know, what is worse, right? Is the absent father or the toxic, consistent mother? And I don't honestly believe and of course, an absent father is shitty. And of course, it affects the child. But I honestly believe to the degree that it will affect the child is more a toxic, consistent mother. A woman that is constantly toxic in your life, day in and day out. So, I think this is ridiculous that, you know, and not surprising that she blames the men.
Yet their children are the least educated group in the United States. So that shows they're poor leaders. Someone tell me I'm lying. No one in their right mind would brag about being the most educated while your children are the least. That means you're selfish. No man would brag about how he's sitting there swabbed out and his kid broke. It's insane. You live with these children. They're yours. You're raising them. So why do you go around putting up pictures of you getting graduated, or you graduating with 5 of your children with you, and 3 of your children are going to end up in jail because you're neglectful? There's no reason for someone. There's not a basketball player right now that brags about how great he is and his son ain't shit. His son can't play. He wants his son to be as good as him. He wants his son to be better than him. So if black women are the most educated women in the United States and they're mostly raising children themselves, their children should be the most educated in the United States by far. How many of y'all been college students? How many of y'all been college students? And as a college student, you can't go and ask your fucking family to send you shit and put no money in your books. But you in jail for 4 years, they send motherfucker all kind of damn money. When your ass graduate, you get a smaller party than his ass got when he got out of jail. That don't make sense. And again, these households are full of women. And now finally, you can get more pussy saying you spent 4 years in jail than you spent 4 years in college. Now tell me I'm lying. And that ain't a fucking man problem, because men aren't fucking each other. They're fucking women, and women are finding that shit attractive. So you tell me who's at fault.
There's there is a thought pattern I had, right, or an idea, and he kind of talked about it in a sense, right, at the end, where he's talking about this is a thing where it is women. In my view, women are the ones who are perpetuating, who are continuing the lineage of terrible men, right? Of, you know, the dealers, the criminals, right? The abusers. It is women that are continuing those men's lineages. Okay? So you think like this, right? You say like, oh, men are terrible. Men are abusers. Men are cheaters. Men are this. But then you have kids with those men. And then you think, how would those kids turn out? Right? This is the thing where a lot of times those kids, it's a sad thing, but they're synonymous with repeating the cycles of their parents. Right? It happens often. So how your parents are, there's a high chance that you will be. Okay? And this is the thing that women cannot understand. You are attracted to the abusers, the criminals, you know, the cheaters, the terrible men. And then you give birth to children of those terrible men. So, in essence, those children will highly likely either the boys become those terrible men that you were attracted to, that ruined your life, or the girls become just like you, attracted to the terrible men that just like you were attracted to, and then continue that cycle by giving kids to those terrible men. This is the thing where I honestly believe where let's say even in the black community, right? You don't have it rampant where black women are having kids by, let's say, the nerds, the geeks, the engineers, you know, the corny guys, right? The corny guys. Black women aren't doing that, right? Just like he was saying, right? Like, you're having kids with the criminals, you know, the cheaters, the abusers, the players, the bad boys. You're having kids by them. You're not having kids by, let's say, the nerd, the geek, you know, the engineer, you know, the tech geek. You're not. So you're not continuing the line of those men. You're continuing the lines of the men that are the worst of society. Okay? And then what do you think that the next generation will be? More of those men. And more of the women that love those men. And I think that it's very telling. And like you said, right? It is women that actually make those men popular. Makes the cheaters, the abusers, the criminals popular, the thugs. Women make those men popular, right? Because they are attracted to those men, like those hard men. So that was an idea I've been having, and he pretty much glanced over it, and I'll probably talk more about it in future videos. But I mean, that's the thing that women, and this is why I said a lot of times I said that, you know, women are kind of the source of a lot of problems, right? But it's like, I'm not taking away from men, right? Because again, men's life is, okay, I want to attract women. So what does that do? If what women likes, I will become. So women like criminals, women like bad boys, women love the men that are really the image of masculine, right? Image of masculine, image of toughness, right? So it's a criminal that has the image of being tough. So men will become it. So it is a sad, crazy thing. I don't know what do you guys think?